Hello, beautiful people. Yes, all you beautiful people, thank you so much for coming back to the channel. My name is oHSoIcoNic, but if I could, I'd be just like you. And today I want to have a quick little chat. And today's quick little chat is going to be about being the only black kid. Okay, now understand when I say the only black kid, I don't literally mean the only black kid. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my grammar school years, my middle school years, and my college years and break down that even though I was among different groups of people in each of those parts of my life, I still was of the minority in that there weren't that many black people around me. Okay, so take my grammar school, for example. I went to school on the north side of Chicago at a magnet school. This magnet school was a language immersion program, okay? Long story short, we all grew up speaking and learning Spanish and English at the same time. So uno, one, dos, I learned all of these things. I learned language at the same time, okay? So what that meant, however, was that there were a lot of Latinos in my school, and rightfully so. I mean, there's very few places in the city that you can go where your kid is going to actually get taught subject matter in Spanish. We didn't just learn Spanish. We had Spanish math books and Spanish social studies books. And that was from preschool all the way up. It was fantastic to this day. It's a fantastic school, okay? Being the only black, or one of, I think there was maybe 5 of us, 6 of us tops in my grade. It was different. And it was different because we knew that there weren't that many black kids at the school, but it was almost okay because we went to school with a bunch of other minorities. And it's weird to think about now because I can look back and definitely feel like, okay, in these moments I was the minority. Like I was the only one. I couldn't have a mi gente. I had to get a Zanga. If you know, you know. But there was also still something that we met. We had a lot of things in common because we were still minorities. We were still, some of us were even still black, just not African American, Puerto Rican or Dominican or whatever. Okay? So there were a lot of things that we had in common, and it often made me feel safe and able to relate to people even though they weren't technically like me. They were in more ways than they weren't. Okay? Fast forward to high school. Now when I got to high school, I was one of very few black people, but I was one of very few black people in damn near an all-white environment. And this all-white environment was, dare I say, a fairly conservative, right-wing kind of white. Money. Father went to the school that I went to, all of that type of stuff. I mean, hell, I got into an argument with a kid one time, and I didn't want to fight him. I said, look, you don't want these problems. He looked at me and said, hey, I would love to fight. I'll be at a new school next week. You're probably on scholarship. You're going back to Chicago. Well, damn, right? So naturally, this is actually the first time that I encountered the black table. Didn't know anything about it because, again, even though I was one of 5 black people, we were all minorities, so it never felt that way until I got to high school and realized, like, okay, I need to be with these people because those people are vicious. Those people don't really understand what it's like to be me and look like me. And I felt it in a very, very big way. Now, that's not to say that there aren't some cool white, there's tons of cool white people at my school, do not get me wrong, okay? But there was just a lot of things that they just didn't understand because most of them actually hadn't been around that many black people prior to getting to high school, okay? So then fast forward a little bit more. I'm trying to speed through this. Now I get to college. Now I go from right-wing East Coast high school to very liberal left-wing West Coast for college. Again, one of very few black people. But this time I encountered something like almost a know-it-alls, if you will. These were people that thought they tried to be sensitive to diversity issues. I'll say it like that. All types of diversity issues, whether it was body shaming discrimination or mental health discrimination, anything you could think of. It was a place where they were really trying to be tolerant and accepting of everybody and everything. That posed a problem though. And the problem for me that it posed was that you often had people trying to break down my plight as a black person, a black man, to me, like trying to tell me what things are like, or trying to tell me how things need to be handled, or trying to tell me how to interpret different things. It's like, I get it. You read some books, you took that one class, and you're a sociology major, so you're enlightened. I get all of that, right? But you still will never get a driving while black. There's still so many different things that you'll never get asked in your life. You know, you probably more than likely won't have people trying to touch your hair and all of this other type of shit. You don't have that. So now that I was around these woke people, I was still around almost a supremacy of white people really trying to tell me and dictate to me how things are supposed to be or how things should go. And not really being willing to listen when me and others like me would say, you can't say that, or you shouldn't say that. And if you do, here's what I'm gonna do, or here's what I'm gonna say back. You get what I mean? Like the creation of plight, telling me that you get it because of something that you've gone. I'm not taking away from it, but you can't compare apples to oranges. You can't do that, because then at that point you're delegitimizing my experience by trying to act like you get it when you don't. Now, I will point out that the difference is when we tell you we get it, we most certainly do. Why? Because 9 times out of 10, we have to acquiesce to your world and learn how to navigate within it in ways that you do not. You can avoid our world. We can't avoid yours. Does that make sense? So that's in a nutshell what I mean. And then I got to getting into the work world and things like that. Depending on you start to see different sectionalities of where black people may be or end up depending on the industry you're in, and that's a whole separate conversation. But I'll leave it right here at that for now. Let me know what you all thought. Have you all ever been the minority, even if you were the minority amongst minorities? What environment were you in? What was that situation? Explain to me what that looked like for you. Let me know all of that down in the comment section. Slap a like on the video, because I haven't been asking for that, so go ahead and do it. Subscribe to the channel if you already have it, and definitely stay tuned, turn on notifications, because I'm so far keeping the streak in 2021 alive. I'm uploading every day, okay? So, appreciate you all for coming back to the channel and watching the video to the end. My name is oHSoIcoNic, but at the end of the day, y'all are the icon, and I will catch you in the next video.